Hey y'all, Kristen Brown here with sweetempowerment.com. Today I want to talk to you guys about overreacting. I only want to talk to you about overreacting in one little tiny specific area because sometimes people come to me and ask me if they're overreacting and I'm like, no, that's a legit concern. Now this is exactly what happened in this situation where someone called me and we're having a conversation and her boyfriend did not do something that he should have done, would have been very considerate and the right thing to do. And she called me to ask me if she was overreacting to what he had done. And I said, no, that's legit. I said that was a little bit inconsiderate and definitely worth a conversation. I said, not an ending game situation, not a deal breaker or anything like that, just, growing pains in the relationship, just stretching and growing and something that required a conversation. She's like, oh, okay, great, because I thought I might have been overreacting. But as the conversation went on, she said, but I don't know. She goes, what I started thinking was that if he's going to do this and he doesn't care about me and I'm not important, then we should just end this now. And I said, now that's overreacting. And that's what I see a lot of women do, and which is why I wanted to bring this up to you. Now, a lot of time, this is the guarded people that do this, the people that have a little bit of a wall up. So they see any sort of behavior and they want to hit the ground running. They're just like, I'm out of here. So what I want to talk to you about today is not making the from bad behavior, not a super often bad behavior, nothing definitely that's a deal breaker, but just something that's kind of crappy that you're like, hey, what is that? Something kind of crappy or that you wish you wouldn't have done or might have hurt your feelings a little bit. We're not talking about big deal breakers or non-negotiables here. And not taking the leap from that to he doesn't love me, he doesn't care about me, I'm out of here. Because when we go to somebody with that energy, the energy of you don't care about me, you don't love me, that behavior is based on the fact that I am nothing to you. Can you imagine our energy when we approach that conversation? It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be attack. And it's going to be like this. But what I helped this person understand was I said, oh no, this was inconsiderate. Yeah. He should have, brought you into that equation. Yes. You're not overreacting. Yes. But this has nothing to do whether he loves you or not. This man adores the crap out of her. He is constantly doing wonderful things for her. He's lovely to her. He's gentle with her. He takes care of her. He nurtures her. He's an awesome guy. But her fear made her forget all of that because it touched a wounded place in her of I'm not enough. And that made her go, if this is how it's going to be, I'm out of here. So all it takes is for us to remind ourselves, like I reminded her, this is just a bad behavior. This has nothing to do with him not loving you. It's just a bad behavior. Now, I do this myself in my situation or my relationship with my husband. If something comes up that I don't like, instead of I've gone down the potty hole where I'm like, he doesn't care, whatever I'm saying to myself. I'm not really a crier, so that made it look like I was crying, but it was I'm more of a get mad person. But I was like, that's not true. This has nothing to do with him not caring. This has to do with him not being evolved in a certain area or having a bad communication habit or something like that. But it had nothing to do with the way he feels about me. So if I went in to the conversation going, you did this and it means that, and I'm having all this attack about me, and he's going to probably get defensive. But if I go in going, hey, next time, could you, about that situation, there's a whole different energy involved, and our people are more likely to receive what we're saying. And the last point I want to make is this is another symptom. The fact that we want to jump from that to that is another symptom of where we're not loving ourselves, where we're not healed, where we feel shame and unworthiness. Because their behavior is touching that wound in us. You don't love me. I'm not enough. You're going to leave me, whatever story that we're telling. But it's not the fact that the person touched the wound. It's the fact that we have the wound. Because people are going to touch our wounds left and right that have nothing to do with our wounds. Nothing. It could be something so random and boom, that feels familiar somehow to us, and it was completely innocent over on their part. I hope this is making sense to you guys. And if it's not, please feel free to comment below, ask me questions. Let's start a dialogue about this in group. I'm talking about Attract a Great Guy group. If you are not in that group yet, you can find the link in the show notes. It's helping women heal dysfunctional relationship patterns and attract the most amazing relationship that they've always dreamed of. And as I continue, I want you to understand that if you're finding yourself making the leap from bad behavior to I'm out of here, or better yet, bad behavior to ultimatum. That's what a lot of women want to do. If you don't stop doing that, then I'm going to this and I'm going to that. Now, you guys, I'm not, again, talking about deal-breaking behavior at all. I'm talking about something comes up, you don't like it, you feel disrespected or not considered or taken for granted or whatever it might be, and you do need to speak up about it. You can't ignore it. It is time to speak up and say, hey, here's the deal. But we don't want to make the leap. If you're in a committed relationship, in the beginning, this is going to be different. In a committed relationship where you don't know, obviously, because you're afraid, but if you are in a committed relationship and for the most part you know that your husband or boyfriend or whoever loves you, and you are making this huge leap and you're recognizing that it's about yourself, okay? But the second thing is if you're in a new relationship and this stuff starts coming up, it's very important to bring it up. But again, to not bring it up through the filter of, I'm not valuable to you. You don't know that or not yet. You're brand new with this guy. But the way to make yourself valuable is to speak up when you're not being treated the way that you want to be treated. All right, you guys. I hope you got a lot from this today. I would love to hear your comments. Please share. Please subscribe. And if you feel yourself making this leap in the past from one thing to the next, or being extreme or overreacting in a little bit of ways, just put a little hands up or a little, raising my hand over in comments. Let's hear from you. Okay, you guys, much love.